The news just broke that Keanu Reeves is leaving Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio's Devil in the White City at Hulu. This is pretty sudden since he was just attached as of August. So the question is, can he just leave? And the answer is yes. Usually when an actor is attached, he can leave. Now, let me explain why. And I will say, as an attorney in Hollywood for 15 years, having worked at Disney and Skydance and BuzzFeed, as well as several big law firms, this rarely happens. The reason why it never happens is because for an actor to agree to be attached, that's a long process. Right? So we would usually go out to the actor, either through a casting director or through a relationship. We would go out to, we'll just use Heath because we're talking about Keanu here, right? We would go out to his agent or manager or attorney. And if they don't have an agent or manager, sometimes they only have an attorney like Jason Statham. So we would just go out to one of their reps. We would send them a package. It would have a screenplay, a treatment, potentially book if there is one that it's based on, which is the case here. There might be a nice letter from the director telling him why he thinks the actor would be perfect for this role. And if the actor is interested, then he'll have many meetings with probably the director, the producers, maybe even the writer. If it's a high stature writer, maybe he'll have meetings with the head creatives at either the networks or the studios. So for an actor to agree, it takes a long time. Now, why would Keanu want to leave? I think it's one of two reasons. One, for creative differences. So let's say, the project starts and he has some creative meetings with the director, let's say, or the network heads or studio heads, and he decides that, this is not going in the direction I thought it was going to be, so this is not the project for me. Now, most likely or more plausible is reason number two, which is he might have a project, and we'll say film because he's a film actor. He might have a project coming down the pipeline that he really wants to act in, and it's just a conflict in time, right? So normally the reason why we don't get an actor is because timing is off and they're usually on another project. So this is a very interesting situation because the concern that I get from talent on the other side is they're worried that the studio or the network is going to back out and not do the project, right? And that happens in Hollywood all the time. Let's say it doesn't get greenlit, or the financing falls through, or another actor falls through, or the director falls through. So an actor's rep, their attorney, will usually ask me for a pay or play provision. And that basically means it's a guarantee that the actor will get his fee, whether or not he ends up acting in the film. And pending some conditions that we usually build in, because we don't love giving pay or play. Because pay or play usually means that they get paid sometimes if they don't act in the film, like Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3. So following his loss of his libel case against Amber Heard in 2020, Warner's decided to not have Johnny in the film because they were worried that his name was going to tarnish the film. So they recast him, but Johnny still received his full acting fee because he had a pay or play provision. This also happened on Memoirs of a Geisha, where Steven Spielberg was attached to direct, but for whatever reason, the start of principal photography started and they didn't start the movie. So several actors actually ended up being paid because they had a pay or play provision. Now, the even more protective provision out there is called pay and play, which means that an actor is attached and you have to use him. Pay and play means they have to act in the movie. And this was the case with Rocky, right? So Sylvester Stallone made it a condition that he wouldn't sell his screenplay unless he also acted in it, which I'm glad they really did because he was fantastic in it. So what about breach of contract, right? I think some people will ask, well, isn't he breaching a contract by not doing the film? He was only attached maybe 2 months ago. An actor deal takes probably 3 to 6 months, sometimes even longer to negotiate through a 20-30 page agreement. It could go back and forth 8, 9, 10 times. I'll draft it, I'll send it to the actor's rep. They could sit on it for 2 weeks and then I'll bring it back and then we have to discuss internally and it could take another 2 weeks. I mean, it just takes a long time. We have to negotiate, their back end and their bonuses and their award bonuses, their streaming bonus, their box office bonuses. And the longest time that it takes is their perk package. I always joke that I am a travel agent in disguise because it always comes down to 3 things: air travel, accommodations, and trailer. It's like, well, do I get a private jet? And I've had to say to many an actor, no, you do not get a G5. And as for the trailers, it's either a single, a double banger, or a triple banger. And actors get very insulted if you say it has to be a triple banger. So that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to catch this video that I made on the Try Guys. I'm Tyler, the Hollywood attorney. I'll see you next time. Bye.